We are going to start with electrical power 1. The first chapter of this subject is power generations with the help of power stations. First topic is generation of electrical energy. So what are the different methods of generation of electrical energy? Electrical energy is generated with the help of sun, wind, ocean tides, water, fuel and nuclear energy. So different forms of sources of energy are sun. So sun is the primary source of energy. The heat radiated by the sun can be focused over a small area by means of reflectors. This heat energy is further utilized for raising the steam. The electrical energy can be produced with the help of turbine alternator set. Second form is the wind. This method can be used where wind flows for a considerable length of time. The wind energy is utilized in windmills to drive small generators. These generators are further used for charging of batteries. The batteries supply the electrical energy when the wind stops. The major advantage of this method is that maintenance and generation costs are negligible. This method has some drawbacks. First is unreliable because of uncertainty about wind pressure. Second, very small generation of power, and third is variable output. Third source is ocean tides and waves. There is a tremendous energy in ocean tides and waves, but it is very difficult to harness this power for generation of electrical energy. But there are few points where the large scale of hydroelectrical plant can be installed. In case by the use of reversible hydraulic turbines, power generation is possible continuously both during high tide and low tide. Fourth source of energy is water. Electrical energy can be generated by driving water turbines or water wheels coupled to generators. Water is stored at some suitable place. This water possesses potential energy because of the head created. These turbines run the alternator which generate electrical energy. This method is popular as it is reliable and requires least maintenance and care. The initial cost of such power system is very high but cheapest in maintenance and production cost. Next source is fuel. Different fuels. The main sources of energy are fuels. The fuels may be solid fuels such as coal, liquid fuels as oil, and gas fuel as natural gas. The heat energy of these fuels is converted into mechanical energy by means of prime movers such as steam engines or steam turbines. The prime movers are coupled to alternators which further convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. The last source of energy is nuclear energy. The tremendous amount of heat energy is liberated by the fission of uranium and other fissionable material. So all the different sources of energy we have discussed, and then next is different generating stations are thermal or steam power station, hydroelectric power station, gas turbine power station, diesel electric station, nuclear power station. We are going to discuss these stations one by one. So first of all, there is steam power station. The main fuel for steam power station is coal. This steam then delivers. First of all, coal is utilized for the production of steam at extremely high pressure and temperature. This steam then delivers its energy to steam turbine which is coupled with an electrical generator. Then we will receive electrical output from the generator. Now we are going to discuss the different parts of steam power station. So first part is boiler, superheater. Next is economizer, turbine, condenser, evaporator and alternator. Now here is schematic arrangement of modern coal-fed plant. So the main points are, first of all, the main equipment of steam power plant is boiler. So the function of boiler is for producing steam under pressure. Water tube boilers are generally used for this purpose. Next is superheater. Steam is superheated in it before passing from the boiler to the prime movers to attain an increased efficiency. Next is economizer. Economizer makes use of remaining heat of the gases in heating the feed water. Then turbine. The function of the turbine is to convert the heat energy of steam into mechanical energy of the shaft. Turbine works as prime mover for the generator. Next is condenser. In the condenser, low pressure steam is condensed into water. And the last is alternator. The alternator is coupled to the turbine. The function of the alternator is to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. After passing through transformer, the electrical output from the alternator is delivered to the bus bar. Next is some salient features of steam power station. The thermal efficiency of steam power station is very low. It is about 30%. This low efficiency of the power station is due to heat loss in condenser and heat losses at various stages. Steam power plant has some advantages also. The fuel used is cheaper, that is coal. There is less space required as compared to hydroelectric power station, cheaper in initial cost as compared to other power stations. It can be installed at any place irrespective of the existence of fuel, that is coal. It is possible to install these plants near the load centers. In comparison to diesel power station, the cost of generation is low. But steam power plant has some disadvantages also. Atmosphere gets polluted due to fumes and smoke, higher running cost as compared to hydroelectric plants. So, next topic is how we can select the site for steam power station. There are some important points which we have to follow for the site selection. The steam power stations should be installed at a site preferably near the premises of a large number of consumers or load center. Adequate cooling water must be available at the site. The transport cost of the fuel should be as low as possible. There must be an efficient and cheap arrangement for disposing of the ash which remains after the combustion of the fuel. So this was steam power station. Next we are going to start with hydroelectric power station. So the main source of power in hydroelectric station is the kinetic energy of the flowing water. The conditions at the station should be such as to get the maximum flow of water. When there is difference of level between the upstream and the downstream sides, the water maintains a natural flow. In few cases, the difference of level exists naturally, as in the waterfalls of large rivers. The actual difference in the level of water depends on the rate of inflow and outflow of water. The dam, in addition to the difference in level, also serves the purpose for storage of water which may be utilized when the consumer demands increases. The water from the upstream side is guided to the powerhouse through the penstocks, which discharges water to the inlet of the hydraulic turbines. The turbines convert maximum of the kinetic energy of the flowing water into mechanical energy. The remaining part is considered as loss in the turbine and pipes. The mechanical energy of the turbine is transmitted through a coupling shaft to the electric generator. A little part of the total kinetic energy of the water is carried away with itself and it is discharged by the turbine to the outside atmosphere through the tail race. This is the simple diagram of hydroelectric plant. Next is the schematic diagram of hydroelectric plant. Most hydroelectric power stations are located at sites which are usually quite far away from the places where electricity is consumed. This is because impounding of water in huge quantities by dams is not possible in thickly populated and industrial areas. This is the diagram for hydroelectric plant. We are going to discuss this diagram. Main constituents of hydroelectric power plant are storage reservoir, dam, spillways, penstock, surge tank, racks, tail race, water turbine and powerhouse. Then constituents of hydroelectric power plant are: first is reservoir. This is the basic requirement of hydroelectric plant. The purpose of the reservoir is to store water during the rainy season because there is a wide variation in water supply from a river or canal, so it becomes necessary to store water by constructing a dam in order to ensure the generation of power throughout the year. The stored water can be supplied to the turbines during dry season and also according to the load on the power plant. Second constituent of hydro plant is dam, which is important part. A dam is a wall built up of concrete or stone, earth or rock fill. The type and arrangement depends upon the topography of the site. The type of dam also depends upon the foundation conditions, local materials and transportation availability, occurrence of earthquakes and other hazards. Third constituent of hydro plant is spillways. These are constructed to act as safety valves for a dam. Spillways serve to discharge the overflow water to the downstream side when the reservoir is full. This condition arises during heavy rainfall in the catchment area. These are generally constructed of concrete on the top of dam. Gates are provided between these piers and surplus water is discharged over the crest of the dam by opening these gates. Next constituent is penstock. These are open or closed conduits which carry water from the intake work to the turbines. These are generally made of reinforced concrete or steel concrete conduits and are used where the head is low, that is less than 30 meter. Whereas the steel penstocks can be designed for any head, the thickness of the conduits increases with the head or working pressure. Next constituent is surge tank. A surge tank may be considered as an additional storage space near the turbine. Surge tank is usually provided in high head and medium head power plants where there is considerable distance between the water source and the turbine, which necessitates a long penstock. As the load on the turbine decreases or during the reduction of load on the generator, the surge tank provides space for holding water. When the load on the turbine increases, it supplies additional water. Surge tank controls the pressure variations resulting from the rapid changes in water in penstock and thereby prevents water hammering effect. Next constituent is racks. These are built up from long flat bars set vertically and spaced in accordance with the minimum width of water passage through the turbine. These are provided to prevent ingress of floating and other material to the turbine. Next is tail race. The water, after having done its useful work in the turbine, is then discharged to the tail race, which may lead it to the same stream or to any other. Next is water turbines, which is the main constituent of hydropower plant. In hydroelectric power stations, water turbines are also known as prime movers. The purpose of prime mover is to convert kinetic energy of water into mechanical energy. The commonly used prime movers are Pelton wheel, Francis, Kaplan and propeller turbine. Last constituent is powerhouse. It is generally located at the foot of the dam and near the storage reservoir. If the powerhouse is near the dam, the loss of head to friction in the penstock would be less. Then salient features of hydropower station are: the operating cost of hydroelectric power station is about 200 per kilowatt or installed capacity, and the cost is extremely low per unit generated. Hydropower plant has some advantages and disadvantages also. The advantages are: the running cost of the station is less as no fuel is used. It is very neat and clean. It has longer life. It has higher efficiency as compared to other type of power plants. It helps in irrigation purposes and also for controlling the floods. There are no standby losses in these types of power stations. It is quick starting plant. Disadvantages include it requires a high capital cost. One of the main disadvantages it is dependability on the natural rainfall in the catchment area. One of the main disadvantage is it requires high cost of transmission line. Then next is choice of site selection for hydroelectric power plant. For site selection, following are the points which we have to consider: sufficient quantity of water at a certain height, adequate transportation facilities, possibility of steam diversions during construction period, possibility of constructing a dam to store the water at least possible cost. Reservoir must have a large catchment area so that level of water in the reservoir may remain above the minimum required in dry season. The land should be cheap in cost and rocky.